Stick 'em. We are good to go.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Talking While Black podcast. I would like to say Happy New Year, even though it's like more than 20 days in this bitch, but like Happy New Year, man. We just been going through some things. You know, we had to be out here surviving COVID and stuff, you know, get through COVID. You know, that holiday COVID was running rapid. I ain't gonna lie, I caught your boy. I got caught up with it, but you know, I'm here. I was good. I ain't have too bad symptoms, you know, just a sore throat and coughing and stuff, but I'm back and I'm good. I'm here with my co-host, Joe Thomas.
Yo, what's goody?
And then Chuck Taylor.
What's happening? Reporting live next door to Jared's kitchen. Only the best stuff happened.
Yo, and I want to say I apologize if you hear any extra music or anything like that. It seems like my neighbors are having a day party over there or whatever's going on, but they're playing all the old school jams. So if you hear some music, man, that's there. But also,
we do not own the rights to the music.
Not at all. But John couldn't make it today. You know, he's busy. And then also EJ, you know, he's moving back to Cali. So, you know, prayers up to him. You know, hopes everything goes well with him.
Absolutely.
Moving back to Cali. So, yeah, but man, how was your guys' week?
So far, so good. It went by fast. Had Monday off.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday wasn't a snow day, but ain't nobody show up. So
yeah, hey.
I'm cool. My week was cool.
Man, that was me Tuesday going to the job. It's just like some people on my team was there, but it's just like, damn, why not even come in here? It's like all these cubicles and shit right here. Just like nobody's at their desk. Nobody's here. It's like 6 people in this bitch.
Shout out to Martin Luther King Day.
Shout out to Martin Luther King Day, for real. You know, we got snowed like a bitch on that day. He's like, oh, we gonna make this a holiday.
No, like. If you live in Cleveland and you're an old person, you hate living in the wintertime in Cleveland. Like, snow, oh my gosh.
I think we at the point, like, yeah, at one point we could deal with it but now we're just, like, fed up with it.
Man.
Because we've been here, like, over 30 years and stuff, and it's just like, and then, you know, see people from the South would be like, oh, we're going to have snow. They get happy and stuff. It's like, it's so beautiful and stuff. Well, I ain't gonna lie, like, snow can be pretty at times. But more times than that, it's annoying.
I'd rather look at the picture.
It's annoying. Like, winters just should only be around Christmas and that it. And we didn't even get snow on Christmas.
And I got to tell y'all this, young women, stop videotaping your significant other, your sneaky link, your husband, your boo thing shoveling your snow. I promise you he is furious about that shit.
Speaking of Sneaky Link, man, you heard the baby's new song called Sneaky Link?
No, I ain't heard it. Yeah, he out here sneaky linking it.
I don't know, but I mean, it's funny, but it's like, yeah, he's went back to making bad music.
He dropped like 4 videos.
He trying to find something that stick. And Joe, I mean, you right. I mean, you called it early. Like, I remember, like you was like, who was the baby earlier? Because you was on Little Baby first, and then you got him. But like, I just feel like he doesn't have the good or quality content now to survive in the game.
That's because, I mean, for real, in my opinion, I think the baby just need to take a break. Mm-hmm. Like, just chill out for a second. Let niggas miss you. Yeah. You done got your paper up. Right. You $1 billion baby out here. Just take a break. Yeah. Let people miss you. And then just come back like, Because, I mean, the baby can slide on the track. Mm-hmm. He can slide on the track.
I think he needs better ear for beats. I think those beats not working anymore. Like, they're cool at first because you just coming out or getting hot, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, just let Muggs miss you, and go from there.
Yeah. Man, but let's first get into it. T.I. says no one can see him on his track. He came out and went to social media. And he said he wanted to tell his truth, and he goddamn told it. He said no one can see him on his track. All I gotta say is you got killed by Young Thug on About the Money. That's your song. I'm just saying.
They ran a train on you, swagger like us.
Hey, are we forgetting we taking over one city? I am a beast. Feed me rabbits, so feed me beast. Saying I need a leash. Whatever. Yeah. So we just gonna forget about that, huh? Like, they actually switched the beat up for Wayne.
Right.
That's how you know he got a raw verse. when they switched to I know what time, like, T.I., you had your time. 2004, 2008, you was that nigga, for real. But past that, you just don't have the longevity as, like, some of these greats like we have now.
Yeah.
So.
And then, I mean, for real, for me, I wasn't always the biggest T.I. fan, and I don't want this to turn into a T.I. slander session. Because, like you said, Fred, for that time frame, he did his thing. Yeah. But you're saying you can't be touched? Can't nobody see you? When you got people like Lil Wayne out here, when you got people like Jay-Z out here, when you got new artists out here.
We're not even saying, like, the people after his generation. Like, people within his generation was killing you, you know. Like you said, Lil Wayne.
Like, just me personally, he got jump on the track, but, I mean, he ain't no bars.
Do something interesting. Challenge Lil Flip to a versus.
Hey.
Bruh, he got killed by Ludacris on the same song, and then all the days in the middle of the disc.
Right, what that?
T.I.P. off of my dick. Like, T.I., you really wanted to say it? I mean, I'm glad he got the confidence. Every rapper should have that confidence, though. So, maybe that's just it. You know, rappers supposed to have that confidence. Nobody can see me on the track. I'm the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, you should feel that way, but that ain't it.
But, like, you also should say, oh, look, they beat, or, like, admit that they fought. Like, even Big Sean admitted, like, oh, yeah, Kendrick came on the track and spazzed, like, Control and all that other shit, you know, things of that nature. You know, niggas be saying there, be like, oh, yeah, I got ate up. I got ate on the track.
Right.
Like, a lot of people from, like, you know, Kendrick, Meek Mill, and J. Cole and them generation, they'll admit when they get eat up on the track, you know. Right, eat up, so. I don't know, T.I., just maybe you should be a little bit more humble. Maybe you should just kept it to yourself with your family circle. Or whatever, but
and it's okay, but that ain't the facts.
Yeah, but you can flow though. You definitely flow. So you know, Pete Davidson with Kim Kardashian now.
That's crazy.
And Kanye have released a track with The Game called Easy. Production on this track is pretty good. The Game is The Game on the track. I mean, The Game is a great ass rapper. I'm not gonna lie, but he names drops a lot. So. For real, but Kanye came with, I guess, this Pete Davidson disc saying like he'll beat his ass and things of that nature. I feel like it being clever because you're a rapper, you're supposed to be a wordsmith, be creative with words. That's the best you can come up with. If you feel some kind of way, you know, just I don't know. I guess like he probably does have writer's block right now. I don't know.
Honestly, you should be happy as Pete Davidson. What's the worst that could happen?
For you saying that, if it was
another rapper or a producer that got fire out here, then slid up in that, like numerous other people that slid up in that, she was meant for the streets, bro.
Michael Jackson's niece, or no, not niece. Sorry, nephew. Supposed to, because that's who she took to prom.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man.
When she used to talk to, what's his name, Reggie Bush too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all forgot about that. Y'all forgot about that, huh?
Right.
Ruined this motherfucking career.
As far as this beef, we all know, like, first off, we all know Kanye doesn't have a filter. Mm-hmm. He's gonna say what he means. He's gonna say how he feels. But he already let you know in Drink Champs at the end of the day, this ain't nothing but rap. When he was discussing the beef he had with Drake and all this other stuff, he let it be known, ain't nobody about to bust a fruit in the grape fight. This is strictly bars, so we already know this was for bars, but he letting it be known like he missed Kim. But I mean, for real, you got his truth, you got Kim's truth, and then you got the facts.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Kanye, you made your bed, you gotta lay in it. But Kanye said, I may gotta lay in it, but that don't mean I gotta be comfortable.
Man, y'all seen that video though? It's from that scene with John Wick 2, with John Wick and the character that Common plays, this shooting each other when they was in the subway and stuff with silencers. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. They said that's going to be Pete Davidson and Kanye when they take out the trash in the morning.
Stop it.
It's all funny games.
Yeah, because they do live next to each other now.
At first I was like, man, that's weird as fucking toxic. But when Kanye explained it, like, his kids are soulless, you know?
Yeah.
This is what make him calm. You know, he's really trying to be a good father and be his kid's life. So I understand it. Like, all right, that's cool. You know, that shit not weird. You just do it. But I feel like his new relationship with that one girl, Julia Fox, is just all for publicity.
Absolutely.
And just to like get back or whatever. You know, so like, hey, I'm fine. I'm cool over here. You know, I'm good.
Moral of the story: it's all pillow fights at the end of the day until somebody show up on a Drake video.
But the thing is, though, you keep talking about it, though, and I wonder how Julia Fox feels. Like, clearly, she knows you want to get back with your wife over your ex-wife.
They probably had to talk about this and everything.
Like, this is just publicity, baby. Like,
Rebound, make it look good.
Yeah, right. Like, because I mean, most women will feel some type of way and be a little jealous, but
shit different when you rich.
Yeah, got money.
Oh, ain't that a bitch?
So Ari Lennox got into some trouble. I'm gonna say she got into trouble, but she's been getting into some mess on social media. Now, it is not her fault. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe she should have kept her comments to herself, but it's social media, you know, things of that nature. I didn't feel like it was that personal or that deep, but she went on a podcaster to get interviewed named Mac G, and he was asking her questions about, you know, one of her earlier songs called Pop. You know, it's a song about sex and things of that nature. And he just outright just asked her, who you fucking out of? You know, had situation change, you fucking somebody down, just like outright. And she was just applauded by it. Excuse me. So indirectly, she just asked on Twitter, I mean, just you know, venting on Twitter just about like, I can't believe he asked me that. She felt like she was blindsided and stuff like that because like, things on the interview was supposed to be destroyed and not seen, but they weren't or whatever, and they were still released it. And then why nobody stepped in to speak up and things of that nature? Because she just felt like that question was rude and stuff, you know, like what type of question is that? But then you have people antagonizing her about it, like, oh, well, you don't, well, since you fake, then you not that, you know, sexually. Is that not your personality to be like sexually active like that or just be like that sexual person? And she's like, you know, she wrote every song and lyric on her last album, Shea Butter album, baby. It's just like, sometimes, you know, the world don't need to know your personal business.
Right.
Honestly. And it's just people antagonize her, and I'm going to say this, like, I guess is his, like, a lot of his fans are following are attacking her, and he's a podcaster in South Africa. And I guess, I'm not saying it's everybody or whatever, but a lot of people were antagonizing her. I guess was from South Africa and things of that nature. And she said, ended up saying, you got it. You know, she'll never interview again. And she will never visit South Africa again. And I guess it just became even more a shit show. But, you know, she said she's stepping away from social media and things of that nature. So, and it's crazy, too, because she even said something like, I guess, like late last year, she went to Ghana, and she felt like a connection, spirit connection there. She just loved it or whatever like that. And then people started antagonizing her about that too, you know, which is just crazy. It's just like she's just telling her truth of how she felt. She went there, and now y'all just like talking about her. And she also talked about like people complaining about her complaining about the interview. Y'all complaining about me complaining about that interview or whatever. So, I mean, it's social media though. People just think they could speak all their minds and things of that nature, or just be keyboard warriors, attack people from behind the keyboard.
You feel me?
There's no consequence though. I'm 800 miles away. Like, I can do the shit whatever I want. I just feel like she was minding her business. I mean, she didn't want to release any personal information on her or what's going on in her life. But she, you know, she did the interview, whatever, and she felt some kind of way.
And for she had a right to feel a type of way, because it's okay for you to feel a type of way about a question that's being asked.
Mm-hmm. And she wasn't saying anything like bad about Mac G, like,
right.
Oh, he a fuck nigga and all this other stuff. It's just like,
most artists do have some type of stipulation when they do interviews like this. Mm-hmm. Certain interviewers, like, okay, if it winds up going south, I don't want X, Y, and Z to be played or whatnot.
Right.
So we already know why it did get played, because he was trying to get his followers up. Mm-hmm. But she has a right to feel that way, just like, well, first off, you don't hear too many men getting asked that question by interviewers, like, hey, who you fucking? You know, or if they do, they're like, you know, this ain't even that type of vibe. That's my personal life.
Right.
Celebrities have a right to just say, look, that's off the table.
It wouldn't be that direct. Like,
right. And it's like, you wouldn't ask that question to Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And she wouldn't have got that backlash. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit unfortunate, but, there is a rumor going out that, a lot of black folk from Africa don't vibe with a lot of black folk from America for whatever reason.
That's fact, because it's like, that was, in my opinion, ground zero from everything. So it's like the levels of stuff, because the quiet is kept. West Indies, Caribbean, all of them, what I'm saying? They on different platforms from the U.S. So yes, U.S. African Americans are gonna be like put on the pedestal, but we're gonna be looked down upon because it's like they look at us like we wasn't part of that struggle. Africa got his own thing going on with the different countries and everything, so it's like they movement is different from ours. It's like you would think, okay, if everything was the total reverse, where Africa's got more treasures and undiscovered polish that's still out there, but it's like, what if none of this got involved? What if they not manifest? The word I'm looking for is like, what if they got their hands on the diamond mines first?
Yeah.
Or they just said no to, hey, y'all not about to come get our people. What you think the result was going to be, Right. Would it have been some actual, some Wakanda? Mm-hmm. You never know. But it's like, and plus everybody, I feel the whole movement go back to Africa. Why not? But it's like, now they feel like, oh, now y'all want to come back here finally, boom, boom, boom. So, but that's just opinionated.
That's just opinionated. I'm saying it's not everybody because, like I said, Twitter is not a representation of the whole world. It's probably, and then the thing of this too is like, are y'all even bankrolled by this podcaster? The way y'all defended him was like y'all are. It's just like she ain't really just say that. She just said she just not. The interview was just the question. That's crazy.
This motherfucker could be somebody like Joe Budden over there,
right?
Or academics. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's wrong to cyberbully, and Ari Lennox is a motherfucking queen over here compared to us. I ain't got no cape, but I got a ski mask. I got a toolbox and a tool belt. Just let me know, sweetheart. Fuck that.
Man, I just want Ari Lennox to sing "Happy Birthday" to me on my birthday just one time. If she could just do that, sing me "Happy Birthday," I'll be happy.
She could sit there in a bubble bath and do that. Just like the video.
But man, like I'm just saying, Ari, keep your head up, man. We're waiting for that new album, definitely though. Definitely waiting for that new album. She keep talking about it too, but we're waiting on that. All right, so next up, Rod Wave feels like retiring and that he sold his soul. I honestly think because a lot of new artists do this, like after their sophomore album, he got like the post-sophomore album blues. Like I guess like the music industry is not cracking on what they ought to be, and they just start thinking about shit or like, is this where I really want to be? Something like it's kind of like the midlife crisis for like musicians or music artists and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I don't listen to music, but that's what I think he's going through. But I mean, because he released something too, and people thought he was about to kill himself or suicide, but it was like, no, it's just a suicide prevention song or whatever. It was just a lyric from that. But I don't know. His music always seems sad to me, regardless, though. So
that was just the mood, and you think about it. How many people dropped on that same lane along with him? So it's like you talking about Moray, Rod Wave,
excuse me.
Who else doing the singing, rapping? And these is funny. These all big dudes, too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So who was that one that came up before Rod Wave?
Big singing dude.
It was somebody else before Rod Wave.
I can't think right now. It was somebody singing, rapping on some sad stuff.
He was the one that did the one with Gates, right? That was Rod Wave.
Rod Wave the one, rags to riches.
Right, but it was somebody else that was doing them little collabs with Kevin Gates. He was on a couple songs with Kevin Gates.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the dude I'm talking about.
I don't know. But, hey, I agree with you, though, Jared. Probably sophomore blues. When you sign a contract, for real, a lot of record companies make music not fun for the artists.
Yeah.
That's just the reality, and he's probably, speaking on that.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if he feel like retiring after his contract obligations, more power to you.
Did Kanye there do that?
I think so.
He only made he probably made 3 albums.
I don't know. That was a while ago.
Different motherfucking thread too. You could just that's when mixtapes was considered albums.
That's true too.
Especially with them down south contracts shit.
Man, back in the day, people was making money off them mixtapes.
Mm-hmm. Because I think the shows too. That show
right.
Money. That show money.
I'm gonna do a show and just drop this new mixtape track.
Oh, so let me tell you, Rap Caviar. We talked about this last week. Posted the Mount Rushmore rap for the 2010s, and they had on there Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Nicki. They was like, "Did we get it right?"
I think so.
I feel like too. Like Nicki, I didn't really listen to her all like that, but her verse on Monster, things of that nature, her global impact and the phenomenon that she had and her following, like that's really big.
Right.
And as far as like Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole's, like all them niggas can sell out arenas and still can too to this day. Like by themselves, like, and they sell out. They will never have to cancel a tour because of ticket sales. Let's just say that. Because like it's different size arenas for these artists. You got like the little, like House of Blues, maybe a little bit than that, because they have something at the Grog Shop. Some of these artists, or whatever. Something like the Garstruck, like a small venue, then a little bit bigger, like the House of Blues. Then something like, Playhouse Square or like Blossom, like the large. Then you have like the arenas. That's like the biggest venue. Mm-hmm. Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, those niggas can sell out regardless. And then sell out too overseas in Europe. Have a European leg.
Yeah.
Tour, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
for me, I think they got it right. I was a Nicki fan when she first came out. She had bars. Mm-hmm. Then, I don't know, I stopped being a fan for the transition, wherever route she was going. I just wanted the music for me no more, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But I think they got it right for those exact reasons you said, Fred, like her global impact. It wasn't like she didn't have bars. Yeah. It just got to a point where it was just like with Lil Wayne, it just started to become redundant.
Right.
And it's cool. I mean, it is what it is, but
I don't think it's like she just didn't bow gracefully from the game.
Yeah.
She was up here arguing about what's Travis Scott and Kylie's baby Stormy. What's her name? Storm?
I don't know.
Whatever. Had creating beef with the baby though about album sales between her and Travis Scott. She was so salty about that though. That was just crazy. Like, man, just bow gracefully. Just be like, congratulations, Travis.
Wait a minute. You having an argument with a kid?
She brought the baby into the beef. The only reason your album's selling because of the baby. Some shit like that. People was like, why are you bringing the baby in the beef? It's like a little joke. It was some shit. She was going off.
Are we sitting there holding hostages now and shit? Women and children, like, what the fuck? Come on, man. See what I'm saying? It's pillow fights when it comes to these little beefs. Mm-hmm. Pajamas and pillow fights. Elmo and Oscar the Grouch ain't had shit to do with that, man.
I don't know. It was just funny. But when that happened. But, big ups to them, like, that was, I would definitely agree with that, too, as far as, like, 2010s. People who were, like, very impactful, too. Not saying, like, they're the best or the top of the game, but, like we said, as far as, like, record sales, their own identity and global impact and phenomenon, on them, yeah, definitely. Because it's been 10 years. Because we were just talking about, T.I. was only really hot from 2004, 2008. A rapper's lifespan is only mostly 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been like, actually more like, we was listening to niggas in college, like 2011, 2010. It's 2022 now.
Right.
It's been more than 10 years for them, and they still hot.
But can we have a mentionable? I mean, like, damn. If it was somebody you could swap out with Big Sean, who would it be?
Nicki.
Oh, for Nicki?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Sean.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she deserved to be on there, but if we're doing honorable mentions, mine would absolutely be Big Sean because Big Sean spazzes.
Yeah, Big Sean.
And he grows with every album he drops.
Yeah, I said honorable mentions probably be Big Sean, Future.
Future, yeah. He ain't my cup of tea, but Future.
But I don't think he can sell out arenas like them. He can sell out like Blossom.
Yeah.
Blossom, the large venues, but not arenas.
Yeah.
I feel like,
But
who else? Maybe Wiz.
Oh, I think Wiz could sell out arenas because he low key on the international.
I think large venues. I don't know. It might depends on the city. Pittsburgh.
I feel like if it's 420, he in there.
You're right.
A Currency, Wiz, like if it was me, like 420 our day, like we doing a concert every 420.
But that would be lit. Wiz, Currency, who else? Snoop.
You feel me? And just do that shit like, all right, this year's gonna be here. Next year is gonna be here.
Right.
Like shit, bring your blunts.
Right.
We about to do this shit. Like, ooh, that should be fire.
That shit would be fire.
If y'all do it, just show your boys some love. Talking Wild Black.
Moving on to sports though. So it's been a debate now. 2 football teams in Ohio. Supposed to have 2 good quarterbacks. Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow, and Browns with Baker Mayfield. Joe Burrow and them with going to the playoffs this year. He's putting up great numbers. I don't have the stat sheet in front of me right now, but once they got Jamar Chase, the dude he was with down at LSU, great numbers. Joe Burrow put up great numbers, and they're actually the favorite to win against the Titans. That's what they put in there.
Stop.
I know, but that's what the media doing, putting the Bengals up there instead of the Titans. Like, calm down. Because I get it, like
Cinderella story and everything.
Yeah, Cinderella story.
Bounce back from the injury.
America likes the underdog.
Right.
Or whatever.
But no.
And then we have Baker Mayfield with the Browns, which we had a very disappointing year. There's been a lot of Baker fans out there, too, and trying to, like, make excuses. Well, he was hurt, and our O-line and stuff like that. But, like, we have a great O-line, but, yeah, some of them were out. But Bengals had a terrible O-line. And let's not to mention, Joe Burrow just coming off that ACL injury. Baker Mayfield had a torn labrum, like his shoulder. It wasn't even his throwing arm. But I get it. If you hurt, you hurt, But that's why he should have set his ass down.
He was too worried about trying to get that mega bag, and it was the crazy part about the shit, because it's like, at the end of the day, like always, Cleveland fans killed the motherfucking team this year. You gotta have it. You can't have it your way all the time.
I don't think it was like, because like Baker was getting booed like when John told us, like when they was at the game against the Detroit Lions. But it is like a devout cult of Baker fans, talking shit, like honestly, and like always sticking with Baker and things of that nature. So I mean, Baker is just, we'll see. I know Browns fans, we always say we'll see next season. Whatever, because his last season was correct, but like this season he's just inaccurate. So we'll see. I don't think he's that guy, but we'll see. If he's improves or not. I say like honestly the first 3 games, if he's not sowing shit, sit his ass down. If it's by half the season, if it's by half the season, then yeah, he needs to go. And it's still like a disappointing season.
Right now, it's like you probably be pretty much out for like majority, if not half the preseason. So, like you said, shit, probably first 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, he had a surgery on January 19th, and then he should be back in like June.
So for me, we made our bed. We gotta just figure it out. I would've, like you said, if he hurt, you hurt. But you should have sat down. You ain't got nothing to prove. I get it. You got something to prove, but you ain't got nothing to prove. But your stock done went down this year. Because you tried to play through the injury. Our fans did hurt us because, all right, they can't play together, so it make more sense to get rid of Odell because it's hard to find a quarterback. But we just let him go. We couldn't even trade him.
Yeah.
I don't consider this season a complete loss because we've never been in this position to be in the first place. To have expectations and then injury and chemistry is what messed us up. And coaching.
Coaching and COVID too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like energy, chemistry, injuries, things of that nature, coaching too. And at least Kevin Stefanski admitted, like, he has to find a way for us to get on this rut of, like, losing close games. Because it's like a lot of these games we could have won or whatever, but we just end up losing them. And then they end up being close games. It's just so crazy. Like last season, all the close games, we ended up winning. This season, I think the only one we won was, like, the Vikings and maybe the Broncos. And that's when Case Keenum was in. What's another one? Maybe the second Ravens game.
Because people ready for us now.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. It's just like with Baker, he can't read coverages, defense or whatever like that. It seems like it. You know, like his football IQ is not there. On top of that, people be talking about his height. He's only 5'8". You know, being a quarterback, you know,
he's shorter than Russell. He's shorter than Russell Wilson. Shit, he like motherfucking.
Yeah, you know, the short NBA players only still like 6'1", 6 feet. They still pretty tall. That shit crazy. Like you see, like Kyrie, you think he's shorter, but just compared to all the others. But like Kyrie, like what, 6'1", 6'2"? It's crazy. That's how NBA works. But yeah, he's shorter than Russell Wilson. You know, like the only person that got really short on a football team is the running backs. I feel like so you get through them holes,
right?
Tuck into them and stuff like that.
Right now, you don't find too many small running backs either. No, so
they be short, but like stocky,
right?
You know, or whatever. But like I said, Baker. But shout out to the Bengals and Burrow. Like I'm happy for y'all. You know, for real. It's been 30 years since y'all had a playoff win. Like y'all looking like the Browns out here for real. What's funny about that? You know, Paul Brown, the dude who created the Browns, and when he ended up getting fired from the Browns, he went down to Cincinnati, created the Bengals. That's why the color scheme kind of the same. Yeah. Like it's orange and black, and then they play at Paul Brown Stadium. I'm like,
Gamer Stadium.
So crazy. That's just like some Cleveland, Ohio shit.
Mm-hmm. Don't get no better than that.
But who the Bengals playing?
The Titans, the number 1 seed in the AFC.
And they got their stud running back.
Oh, yeah, who the Titans quarterback?
Tannehill, right? Tannehill. Mm-hmm. But they got that Derrick Henry, their running back. Yeah, he was at Alabama. He's back. So
yeah.
And all Cincinnati got his Burrow, huh?
Burrow, Jamar Chase.
What position he play?
Wide receiver. That's the dude from LSU.
Oh, okay,
They got
yeah.
good chemistry.
They got a mid-running game.
Yeah, they're running games. Mid. They got their defense though. I think it's straight. I don't remember. Whatever. But no, their defense nothing. We went through them twice, even when they had all their people.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out to the Bengals, man. Y'all happy. They up there talking about Joey B's welcome in any hood. They would just name the hoods. It's like, Joey B, welcome here. Joey B, welcome here.
Wow.
But man, yeah, he's a good dude. He putting up good numbers. So I don't know much about this next topic, but Dak Prescott, I guess he made some type of comment to the refs or about the refs, the officials.
So in their last game, he was being interviewed after the game. And he was asked about the fans throwing stuff in the stadium. So he was like, I feel like, it's appalling. No, I'm not quoting him or nothing, but he was just along the lines of, it's appalling. We're in this together. They don't understand why they would do that, this, that, or the other. Pretty much almost to the point of shaming the fans who did do that. Mm-hmm. The interviewer corrected him like, no. They were throwing stuff at the referees, and he changed his tone like, oh, good for them, like, as they should. Along those lines. Again, I'm not quoting him, but, yeah. It was just funny. He's getting a little bit of backlash because it's like, wow, really? It just seems pretty malicious or whatever they were saying. It was just crazy.
I guess because some of these people was talking about him after that loss last week with him in the 49ers and his decision-making. He was actually glad for the Heat to be off of him and the team.
Right.
It was on the refs, so that's what he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, talk about the refs. Yeah, fuck those refs. That's how I feel like it, yeah, for real. But it is kind of like malicious and stuff. It's like, oh, well, they the ones that keep the games going. So she should have said something like that. Like, if it was not the officials, right, the games would be an organized mess, So we're all in this together. We're all part of the NFL. That's how I feel. I don't know. that was kind of malicious of him, but I just, like I said, he just want the heat off of him.
Right.
So, Kyrie is back part-time. He's like Batman with the Justice League. Like, I'm only doing this shit part-time.
Right.
For real. But he's putting up close to 30 points every game. You know, he in that big. I ain't gonna lie. Like, his first game back was against the Cavs on MLK Day. They lost. The Nets. The Cavs won. But, like, shit. He was hot. I ain't gonna lie. He put up, like, 27 points. And that just made me think, like, if it was a healthy Brooklyn Nets team, that shit's scary as hell.
If they healthy, they winning it. But right now, they not healthy.
Yeah.
And they not all the way together. So, right now, in my opinion, the championship still up in the air.
And I didn't know they only play like 11 games together.
Right.
That is crazy.
But I feel like this is the basketball guy saying you can't try to skip steps.
If I'm the GM, I'm like, what I'm paying all of you for? You only playing like 11 games together.
Like this for me, it's like the NBA, the basketball guys like you cannot skip steps.
Yeah.
You got to go through the growing pains. I.e. when LeBron was with the Heat, they was losing at first.
So you don't think who didn't go through the growing pains?
KD? I mean, no, not KD.
I was about to say he was kind of down there with OKC.
I'm talking about on this team.
On this team,
when you establish this team, like Kyrie in and out, Harden ain't signed a big deal. You know, pretty much. I mean, they pretty much seems like they just running themselves. So I don't know. It just can't skip steps. All right, for real. It happened with the Clippers. Paul George was like, you don't need chemistry. We just got two great players. We just going to do that shit.
In fact, the only team that worked with was Golden State.
Yeah. But they ain't skip steps, though.
Yeah.
Everybody played games. Wasn't nobody taking games off. Everybody sacrificing. I mean, Brooklyn sacrificing, but they ain't got really too much outside of their big three, though.
Is DeAndre Jordan still there?
No, he with the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he ain't.
They just got Blake.
Yeah, they got Blake, LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, Patty Mills.
I forgot Aldridge. Why the hell they got Paul Millsap?
And again, that's why I feel like I don't feel like it's built the best around they big three. But you ain't stopping all three of them if they're healthy enough for all of them playing.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But back to Kyrie. At first, when it first happened, they was talking about it might come a time where Brooklyn just might say, you know what, bump it. I'll pay the tab, have them play at home games. They said they're not at that point yet, but could be.
Yeah.
Somebody tripping outside.
Definitely.
Yo, Stewie!
And
right.
This is why therapy and mental health, being aware of your mental health is good.
Right.
We talking about Kyrie. But go ahead, pay that tax for Kyrie, because, like, that nigga came back balling. I ain't gonna lie. Dude came back on it.
Arguably got the best handle of all time.
Until Darius Garland was better.
And then you mix that with 2 MVP candidates.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got that but the Lakers, but they stinking up the joint.
Yes,
Nice
Lakers.
segue.
Oh my gosh, man! Like, I mean, who's to blame for the Lakers?
The Lakers.
Okay, LeBron for getting rid of all the young guys.
Yeah, but to be fair, I know a lot of people was like he should have got Buddy Hield. They would have still been in this position because LeBron would have been hurt and AD still hurt right now.
And then you see, like, Alonzo Ball, he's doing great, even though he's hurt in Chicago.
Right.
Kuzma, he's doing pretty good in Washington.
Kuzma low-key balling.
Yeah.
Kuzma low-key balling.
Mm-hmm. And then, you broke up this team and then end up getting Russell Westbrook. Man, I think this guy is just delusional. Like, I feel like people just picking on him at first, but then, like, people ain't picking on him. Like, he's the one sticking up the whole spot, too. All the bricks he be doing. Like,
Bro, they made new projects because of Russ Westbrook down there.
That's how much he been bricking.
They done made a new project complex.
Bro, what game was they at? Like, every time he bricked, they would play, he's cold as ice.
I want to say...
Was it the Kings?
It was the Kings because they put up the stat like ice cold player of the game, Russell Westbrook, and he clapped back like, all right, y'all been that way for 14 years.
Yeah.
Now what? I think he going to figure it out. He always figured out the second part of the season.
Yeah.
We'll see, though.
But, like, with the Lakers right now, they like number 10 in the West?
Mm-hmm.
They probably have to play in.
Do a buy-in? Wow.
Hey, Google, what position are the Lakers in the West?
Project.
The Lakers are 7th in the Western Conference with 23 wins and 23 losses.
Okay.
LeBron dropping darn near 30 a game.
Right. That's what he had to do. He got to be on this Cavalier shit. But you know who's been quiet though? The best record in the league, the Phoenix Suns. I don't know, just because their market is probably so far away, but I just haven't heard shit. But they like number one. You know, I just be hearing more shit about the Warriors because I guess like we was talking about a bigger market team,
Clay back,
and they just have the media just likes them.
But to be fair, the Warriors took a step back because Clay's back, and they're trying to reintegrate him with the squad.
Yeah, because I feel they lost a couple more games. Yeah,
and Curry hasn't been Curry.
Yeah,
and the Suns, they trust each other, and they have a complete team from top to bottom.
I'm just saying, like things just been quiet for some reason
right.
in the media, but they've been like doing so good. Like I feel like if this was the Warriors, like we'll hear no stuff.
Right, but Phoenix Suns, they have exactly what you would want a team to be. Mm-hmm. You got a great point guard who could penetrate, facilitate, and shoot the paint, mid-range, and three. You got your go-to scorer who could Chris Paul, the facilitator.
Oh yeah, you said veteran, yeah.
Yeah, and then you got your go-to guy in Booker. Mm-hmm. Then you got a 3-and-D forward in Miles Bridges. Excuse me. You got your stretch forward in Jay Crowder who can 3-and-D. Mm-hmm. And then you got Andre Ayton just hanging in the paint. Cam Payne and Cam Johnson pulling bench. I think I said their names right.
I forgot about Ayton.
Man.
He was good.
And they just doing their thing. Will it work in the West? We'll see.
But you know what people say we missing? Speaking of what I said, Chowder, like the Cavs, they said like we probably need like a Chowder. Crowder, sorry. Yeah, Crowder.
The gag is we had him.
We had him.
We did. But I think he was just with the wrong. That's when we had D. We had
Isaiah Thomas,
D Rose.
Man,
damn, what's his name?
D Rose, D Wade,
D Wade, and all of them. So the things wasn't working. We did have all of them.
You would think with all them players at the same time, you would think it would work. Right. It would make it work.
I don't know. We just didn't give it time for it to work. But that's what they're saying the Cavs need right now. But honestly, I believe the Cavs don't need anybody.
If we make a move, it need to be for a star. Yeah. And that star got to get us a ring. Mm-hmm. Like, it got to be like
in a win now type of thing.
Like, if we going to make a move like that, it got to be calling like when Kawhi went to Toronto. Like,
mm-hmm. But we're not in a win now situation. I think,
no, we're not.
Because, we just won one in 2016. No.
Or maybe try to get Ben Simmons.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You think he work well with the Cavs?
Mm-hmm. If you get rid of Sexton, sign and trade type stuff.
But anything with the Cavs, though, people have just been surprised. Like we're not going to have a game on national TV. It's just like, we're going to be on ESPN now for this one game on March. Like people are now seeing and realize, the Cavs balling.
Right
out here in the East, they balling.
Sexton down there giving you a double a game.
Mm-hmm. So especially once everybody get back healthy, Garland, yeah. Especially when everybody get back healthy, when we get Rubio back, Sexton or whatever. But your fear though is like, how will Sexton work with the team? Because who they got as shooting guard for starting now when we start?
I'm not sure. Maybe Okoro. Garland, Okoro, Osman, Mobley, and Allen. More marketing, yeah.
Starters.
Either Okoro or marketing. Mm-hmm. If the players were to start right now, we'd be playing against the Bucks. I don't know.
A healthy Bucks team,
right?
Cavs. Well, we won't be healthy because we won't have Rubio and Sexton.
Well,
I don't see it.
Icon, man.
Jared Allen.
Kevin
Love.
Yo,
Mr. 6'2" and 1.
Bruh, Kevin Love doing his thing from off the bench.
Yeah, he is.
I think he works best that way with us now. since he's going to his veteran years.
Don't get the big head.
Off the bench. And he said he's in a happier spot now because he's not dealing with a lot of injuries and stuff. Because that was just last year when he just when he imbibed the ball, he just threw that shit.
Yeah.
And was mad as hell.
Because of the Olympic shit.
Those were the Olympics?
Yeah.
But if we can, hopefully the Bucks start winning some more and we start winning or losing some more. Because I feel like the only team we could play right now and get out of the first round, not the Nets, not the Bulls, maybe the Heat, not the Bucks, not the Sixers.
Not the Sixers?
No. Maybe the Hornets.
I'm just saying, though.
Maybe the Raptors.
It's the best out of 7.
And that's it.
What's the best out of 7, though?
Embiid. If he's healthy, it's a wrap.
But we a young team.
But we're not stopping Embiid. They can stop our players, but we're not stopping Embiid.
I don't know, man. Our defense, man. We got the number 1 defense.
That's fine, but Embiid is an MVP candidate.
We'll see. I'm just saying, it's a lot. Then, after the All-Star break, we have, one more road game on the West Coast or something like that. This is going to be before, but that'll be, our last road game in the West. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Because my father was talking about, we had all them road games on the Western Conference earlier this year. So, we have the easiest schedule in the second half. So.
Keep on winning, Cavs. Wing dinners on J.R. Smith. With sauce.
Right.
So, any other NBA news?
The 76ers said there might be a trade with Sacramento they'll do for Ben Simmons. They feel like they don't want to mess it up because, we don't want to mess it up for Embiid because he's balling right now. So it might go past the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. It's only a handful of things they can do for real, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Jaylen Brown was on the table, was, talked about, but the Celtics probably ain't trying to get rid of Jaylen Brown.
What's up with them? Why they not winning? The Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum chemistry not working? I haven't seen any games from this season. They don't be coming on like that. That's what I want to know. What's going on between them? Because that was supposed to be them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Gordon Hayward at now?
He's with the Hornets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he with the Hornets, but the Celtics...
Oh, yeah, because it's Kimber Walker. It was supposed to be. That's the trade to them, Kimber Walker.
But the Celtics, they trying to figure it out. I don't know. It'll happen eventually. They just going through growing pains, but they got to figure out the right guard to put it with them. A guard that ain't worried about dropping 20 plus a game, like a Chris Paul. If Chris Paul was with the Celtics, different story. Mm-hmm. But you just got 2 young bucks trying to figure it out, and the NBA then already got y'all figured out. Mm-hmm. I saw one on y'all. One of y'all. Just either you gonna ISO or you gonna ISO.
They still is Brad Stevens still their coach?
No, he the GM now. Oh, okay. They got a black coach, I believe. Mm-hmm. But it's just, they'll figure it out eventually, but they just they're going through their growing pains. The Celtics is how the Browns are. Yeah. Minus the...
Look good on paper.
Right. Look good on paper. They got the talent. They ain't got no fire point guard or no fire just man leader to figure it out for them.
Yeah. So apparently Wendy Williams got drunk and masturbates. Yeah. I'm just glad she's not the only one.
Giggity.
So following a troubling report last week that Wendy Williams stripped naked and inappropriately touched herself in front of her manager and others while drunk, a source close to the talk show host claims that many of her rumors surrounding Wendy and her declining health are true.
The only thing was harmed was salad. After being
I was about to say, did somebody put something in their drink? But it's they think it's a mental health issue.
Yeah, there have been numerous stories published in gossip magazines about Wendy Williams' health since her departure from her talk show, which has been hosted by guests for the last few months. Right. As her fans anticipate her return to the show, it sounds like they could be waiting for a long time for her to get back on the purple chair. Mm-hmm. The truth is, a lot of the stories that you are hearing about Wendy are true, and they are coming straight from the staff. a source said a source to Page 6. It's one thing to see what we have seen in the studio, but it's another thing when certain staff members make it to their home. When the cameras and the mics are off, the liquor comes out. The spark is gone. That Wendy, who for 10 years had the spark in her eyes, a cheeky grin, and little winks, is not the same now. She's not always functioning like she used to be. She has days where she needs help eating, getting out of bed, and getting dressed. That's unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate.
Right.
I wonder if it's a mental health declining because of like we talked about cyberbullying, because it seemed like the internet just used to hate Wendy.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Wendy Williams used to be all in that gossiping stuff too on her talk show too, so maybe. No, I don't say it's karma because that's wrong. But,
but it plays a factor.
That's true.
Not to condone it, not to condone it at all.
Yeah.
And don't forget her outside stuff she got going on.
But yeah, like with her relationships and stuff like that too.
Exactly.
And her failed relationships, the internet just dogs her on about it too. And I just want to know, is that part of her mental health declining or just like, well, she had a stroke, didn't she? Yep. On camera.
I believe so.
So yeah, that might be part of it.
Excuse me.
When you have a stroke, that stops like the oxygen from. The reason you have a stroke because the oxygen not getting to the brain. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Prayers up to you.
Yeah, prayers up to her, man. For real, you know. Joe Biden finally has free delivery of COVID tests, so you didn't know. Like, you could just sign up and they would deliver like 4 COVID at-home tests. What's it called? The antigen test to your household. I would say about time. It's been 3 years in this pandemic now. Y'all just now.
Right. And this is where it just becomes so fickle to me. Like, I'm not a conspiracist because I've been vaccinated, right, all that good stuff. But it's just funny how you guys are pushing the population to get the vaccine. Help us help your country, help our country. But then you have people in the higher ups that aren't vaccinated and get caught about not being vaccinated and are held accountable. Mm-hmm. And then for the second matter of, get vaccinated or get these COVID tests because, it's the right thing to do. But you go in Walmart, you get a COVID test anywhere from $15 to $200. Mm-hmm. Like, make it make sense. But it is about time, though. Right.
It's like this one girl, because, the holiday COVID really hit Cleveland. Can't do a test anywhere. Hard. So this lady had this mobile test center, but was charging $75. Like, come on, man.
Shit, CVS was, if you didn't meet the criteria, they was charging like $170.
Like, just because you just want to take it?
Just want to get tested.
It gets sad when you got to profitize off people's mental and physical. You know what I'm saying?
Man, they've been doing it.
But it's like when it get to a point like this, it's like, come on now. At the end of the day, just take care of your mental and your physical.
And this is why, and again, I know I'm not a scientist, so I try to trust it.
Right.
But this is why people are skeptical about this shit. Because it's like, at the end of the day, it's all for money. We've seen straight hand, like, when this shit first hit, hospitals getting buku grant money or buku funded money for pronouncing this person dead. Oh, why are they dead? Because of COVID. Like, we witnessed that shit firsthand. So how can you blame people for being skeptical? Mm-hmm. Not a conspiracist, because again, I got vaccinated, all that other good stuff. But I get it. But it is about time for them free tests to come out.
Right.
Way about time.
Yeah, it's been past due, bro. The bill's been due. Like what were we doing? Like it's been overdue, for real. Netflix raising their prices, so now if you have the premium plan, it's like almost $20 now. I'm not sure the other prices, but let me check real fast. But they basically raised them by $1, honestly. But at the same time, okay, the standard tier is $15.50 per month. And what's underneath that? My bad, they haven't got it right here. But anyway, HBO Max on the other hand is like, hey, big head, we got some good content too. We're gonna lower our prices, even though it's just for a month. But they definitely did that just to be petty and counteract what Netflix doing. Because if you be real, like Netflix is probably number 2 of the streaming wars.
What?
HBO Max is probably number 2 in the streaming wars.
Okay.
But as Joe was saying, Netflix is not even part of the streaming wars. Like, people are going to get Netflix regardless.
Because at the end of the day, see, I remember having this conversation way back when HBO Max first came into play. Disney Plus was in the whispers. This was in DC Universe was trying to get in there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, at the end of the day, Netflix still going to be Netflix. Hulu making their moves or whatnot, because out of all of these streaming services, and I'm not gonna count Paramount because their app is just so glitchy. But out of the big streaming services, they're the only one that don't do commercials. I mean, don't do the ads, and that's just real. And for real, Netflix that made such a move, has such a movement, they can make whatever and it reaches whatever audience they're trying to reach.
Right. It's definitely like, you may talk about the originals, like it might not be a lot of good shows, or it's like you have to get through a lot of mess, but the good shows of the originals are pretty damn good though.
And they're worth that. And they have a system like Netflix, unfortunately, they're not gonna just drop fire shit year round. Yeah. But they strategically, Christmas, we gonna give you an abundance of shit. Mm-hmm. Between October and February, you're gonna get an abundance of shit. That's March, true. April, May, things might die out. You might have a heavy hitter or two drop. Mm-hmm. Summer, they gonna give you some heat. Right. It may not be a lot. It may be like 2 or 3 things,
but
like
some good, great ass movies they might.
Right.
But it's gonna be streamable, and everybody gonna fuck with it.
And then they gonna chill out again, and then you start to cycle back over November through February.
Right, though, because like this fall, what they had, Squid Games, Arcade came out.
Ozarks, we're going to get to that later. The Witcher, JoJo Bizarre Adventures, Don't Get Up.
Last season, Narcos, too.
Narcos.
They dropped some shit between this fall. I'm like, nah, you right.
So, yeah, they upping their price by $1. I ain't mad at it.
Just don't fuck up Avatar The Last Airbender.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But, here's the pricing. They jumped, for the basic standard plan, they jumped from $14 to $15.50. While the 4K plan, which now be $20 per month from $18, and the basic plan, which doesn't include HD, is also rising at $10. It was $9, now it's $10.
I remember when Netflix was $5.99.
I remember it was $8 when they first started streaming services. It was like $7.99. It was just $8.
$7, it was like the HD shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The 1080.
Hey, but again,
I ain't mad at it.
Netflix can do this shit because we talked about it in basketball. They didn't skip steps. Yeah, they dick Blockbuster in the beginning, but they ain't skip steps. You remember just signing up for Netflix and they had mailed some shit to your house. They was doing movies and games and shit. Next thing you know, we're going to do that and stream. Yeah. All right, now we just doing strictly streaming. We didn't create such a platform. When COVID hit, we was like, all right, it's time to really let niggas know who the fuck we are. We start paying niggas like angels. It started for real with that shitty movie with Will Smith and the alien.
Right.
Yeah.
You think so?
Because you weren't expecting it was Will Smith.
Oh, you talking about big, but like when they first started doing original content, I'm like, oh, they doing original content now. It was House of Cards.
Yeah.
And then Orange and the New Black, which was funny. I never finished it. But yeah, you're right. Bright.
And then you got movies with, I mean, for real, that is
Leo now.
Right, you solidified it with Leo.
I'm thinking they did that shit with that one movie from the Russo brothers who directed Captain America movies and Endgame and stuff. With Extraction.
Yeah.
That shit too.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx, what's that movie? Power?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Powder.
But I don't like HBO Max is number 2. If you talk about content, and everybody talking about Euphoria now. Every second season.
I still can't get past it. Like, that shit's scary. Euphoria.
Yeah, I know, me too. I can't get past it either. You know, it was pretty good, and I appreciate it. But I'm like, man, high school is so different.
That's real life.
Yeah, I'm saying high school is so different now. And I heard like this last episode, it was just all about sex. Like everybody was just getting dick down in that bitch. So
that's too much.
You know. But speaking of Netflix too, man, like I just been discovering some heat on there. Like I meant to get I knew I would like Arcane, but I'm now just like really got past like the first 2 episodes and stuff like that. Arcane is heat. Arcane is basically, now I'm gonna say, I don't know shit about League of Legends, the game. I don't know what you're doing there or things of that nature, but this show is the truth. Supposedly it has the game League of Legends has a lot of complex lore, and this is where Arcane came from. It's about this city called Piltover, and it's just like the people who are rich and stuff and like have good lives they live up with on top. They call it the top city or Piltover, and there's people who live in the other city, which is just like underneath. It's supposed to be like the slums and stuff and things of that nature. And it's basically about like them looking at the society as whole, like we're all people and stuff. We should all work together, things of that nature. And it's also like who's really controlling this city and things of that nature. And you know, like we all in this together. And with these 2 sisters too. Like I don't want to get too much into the plot because it's like time skips and stuff like that. But like as far as adult animation, because like usually see adult animation now, you know how it's adult animation because it's drawn poorly or whatever. It's all about comedy and stuff like that. But this is taken to a new level. Like adult animation can be also serious at shows, and that's why I fuck with this too. The artwork is just beautiful. Because it's like mixes this 2D, 3D type of thing, and which is dope. You know, I really like it from this like how Into the Spider-Verse is or whatever.
Yeah.
So like.
Sidebar, if we talking about 3D art, honorable mention, Demon Slayer. If you're not hip to Demon Slayer, it's an anime.
That's 2D, isn't it?
It's 2D.
Yeah.
But
it's really smooth and good, yeah.
The way they doing it now?
Alright, is it better than Legend of Korra and Avatar animation?
Yes.
It is? Because those two
exceptionally. But to jump back to it, Netflix dropping that heat. Go check that shit out. We went
so much tangent. Like we already talked. We saw some Ozark. Ozark is probably the best show on Netflix right now. Like I can't wait to just jump back in it, man. Like I saw like the first 3.
I'm on episode 2. I ain't seen episode 2 yet.
And then they also dropped Archive 81, which is like a horror series. I'm gonna tell you, like it is very intriguing and creepy. Like basically, it's dealing with this dude. He's a black guy too. He restores videotapes. He's an archivist and restores like damaged videotapes or old videotapes. So he gets hired on as a contractor for this company called LMG to fix these camcorder retapes. Yeah. But he has to do it out in the woods, and it's all dealing about this girl discovering a cult. So it's many layers to it. It is creepy too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Like I'll probably show y'all the first episode after this if y'all can stay or whatever. Like. Yeah, it's creepy as hell. I must say, but it's heat though. So, and I've been like addicted to that too. Like I've been switching back and forth between Ozark and Archive. I actually wait at night to watch Archive. I do, you know, and Arcane. So Netflix been dropping heat lately, you know, for real. And HBO Max dropped something too. Peacemaker, man. I ain't gonna lie. We watched this last week. Joe Nathan just put it on. We saw the beginning. And then the intro came in. We was like, what the hell? I never skipped the intro, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Marvel, y'all got a chance to actually fix this mess y'all done made. And Peacemaker is hilarious. John Cena, I saw episode 2.
You mean DC?
DC, yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
I saw episode 2 today, and it was just hilarious.
Bruh, episode 2, he kept falling from the balconies to balconies.
Bro, we was just sitting here like, bro, his landings are horrible. Yeah. Like, he's just not figuring it out.
Bro, that one landing, he'll be straight. All he got to do is jump up and then hang himself down.
Right.
But he just like,
fuck
on
it.
Some asshole shit. Yeah. Like, bro, this is not the WWE, fam.
Fucking himself up. When he was in his bedroom crying, and his friend was like, why are you crying? Like, you alright?
He's trying to play, your dick is out.
Right. Made that shit awkward as fuck.
Right. Bro, they going to the middle.
He could be a friend, but you just keep pushing him away like you do everybody.
I got some new appliances, and they go to the woods and like
have a jolly old good time.
Bro, they throw dynamite at each other like, bro, y'all stupid.
Man, y'all tripping.
Yeah,
for redneck shit.
Peacemaker though, never change. Never change Peacemaker.
Y'all did this.
Pretty good. Yeah. That shit is pretty good. I can't wait for us on HBO Max. The next has of Phantoms, Young Justice Phantoms.
Yeah, we just saw the last episode, I think.
And they got Euphoria come back on. That's their thing. I heard Succession is pretty good. I gotta probably give that a try and watch. You know, and but I really can't wait for Warrior when they do the next season of that. I know y'all probably didn't get to it much, but like,
saw a little bit of it. That shit tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, this one nigga got this ass beat so bad in Warrior, he had a career change.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you saw that?
Right, yeah, I deal with the whole shit from day one. Yeah, that shit
the
was
Irish dude, he was like, you know what? Maybe I should just be a politician now.
Right.
Got his ass beat so bad.
Damn.
Because he was like you know, terrorizing the Asians and stuff. Irishmen should have their way and have these jobs. And the dude was like, you can't do this fight forever.
That shit was funny as fuck. Like, he's sitting there like, what can I do with my life? Then 2:30 in the morning, he saw that commercial. That changed his life.
He got his ass beat.
He's like, I can go into politics. Be for the people.
Right. Got his ass beat so bad, had a career change. You know what? This might not be for me.
You know what? This ain't even my battle no more.
Actually,
I'll fight this another way.
Fight it another way. Come at you guys from a whole different angle.
That's crazy. I've never seen this guy's ass beat. And then, the main dude got his ass beat in the first season.
Yeah. That was so funny. That was like a wake-up thing. Like, you know.
By Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Joe Tazin, I think his name. But, we also have coming back, Snowfall coming back in February.
I can't.
Atlanta be back in March, so.
Gonna be a good February.
Gonna be a good start of the year, for real. Like, finally, all my shows coming back. I ain't gonna lie, like, Power cool. Like, I fuck with Power and Ghost Book 2 or whatever. It's entertaining, but it just don't be having the tension like Ozark and Snowfall. Like, you don't be at the edge of your seats. Like,
they going through it in Ozark. Spoilers, fuck that little kid. Like, kids being kids, not.
Bruh, for real.
That's privilege right there. That ain't nothing about no kids being kids. And it's like, first you wanted the kids not involved with it, then you got them involved with it, and look what the end result is going to be.
Bruh, Wendy is the motherfucking enforcer now.
Hello.
Wendy is
That's what's so funny about
Wendy
it.
is the enforcer. Like, it's like, what's his name? Marty, he just be quiet, kind of timid or whatever. Or sometimes, he'd be assertive when he can. But like,
he's assertive when it matters. Like, when you talking to the bosses of bosses.
Yeah.
Like, that's when, like, for real, he only shoots straight forward when it need to happen. Like, shit in the house, he like, spoiler, sorry. Yeah. Like, there's a situation in the house where the son just being a total dick and not understanding, like, this grown shit. But to be fair, you're a child.
Right.
But it's a little bit of privilege in that bitch, too. But Wendy just going off.
Right.
Wendy just letting them have it. And Marty like, well, baby, let's just be chill.
Right.
Because you about to make this nigga explode. And he just walk out. You're grounded. You can't stop, man.
Bruh,
he just walks out.
I don't want to spoil it either, but this is this point when they trying to get this person to do something. And they at the door, and Marty is like, come on, man. Like, stuff. Then Wendy just pushed through like, no, you're going to do this for me, family, and my family. Because once you care, don't say like, you would protect anything for your family. Well, I would protect anything for my family and stuff.
Right.
Just like going off for real. But like you said, Marty would like shoot the shit when he has to, because it was another situation he had with Navarro, the boss.
Right.
He was just like, no, because of your patience, we in this shit now, so let's just move it over. Click. End up talking to Navarro just like that. Like, damn, Marty.
Like, Marty shoot the shits when it's needed. Like, when they in a pickle, like after that car accident they had to get dressed. Niggas talking to Wendy like, hold on, wait, and who are you? Like, what? What's going on here? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out, like, Marty, he just do that shit when it's necessary.
Right.
But Wendy, she just oozy in this bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, with 3 seconds left, who you gonna get that ball to?
Marty.
Wendy.
Marty. Because Marty gonna get shit done.
Exactly.
Wendy making the little shit happen, but that big shit that keep niggas from dying. Marty.
Yeah, like I said, it's his system, his software and shit, like everything, But yeah, those are kids, man. And then now you got the boss's nephew, Javi.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, more spoilers. They handled that whole little situation wrong. Got a little nephew who a little too big for his britches, just asserted himself. The uncle, like, he trying to gun from me, so certain shit we gotta keep from him. Mm-hmm. But he persistent. He pulled tight on Wendy and Marty. And, they trying to tiptoe around the situation.
Right.
If it's because they were given a task and that task wasn't handled yet. So, nephew came in and just did it. One of the tasks. Shot sheriff, spoilers.
This is the first episode.
Right. So in my head, I'm like, okay, you get rid of the sheriff. That's the main reason I ain't even go after her.
Right.
Because he would have been on my ass. Shit. You want to ride with us up there?
Right. Let's finish this.
Let's just nip this shit in the bud right now.
I was like, I'm not trying to get between y'all.
And you got to explain to the uncle, like, look, he gave us a way out. Like, you got the shit done. What y'all got going on is what y'all got going on. Right. I still got you on that one thing, but he gave me an out. And that shit was smooth.
Right. But Navarro told him, you gotta see that, but he told the birds, though, y'all don't win unless I win. No, y'all don't win, until I win.
Fine. That's a bar.
So, yeah, man, like, Ozark been coming with it, man. Well, yeah, we got 10, but, like, Snowfall in
Atlanta
coming back, man. Atlanta about time, because the season 2 was back in 2018. It's been 4 years.
Right.
For real.
Let's make some shit happen.
And the Snowfall, can't wait for that shit to see what Franklin's
That's
saying.
what I'm excited about.
Yeah. See how the family going to be since they feuding right now, But any more shows y'all anticipating?
I'm really anticipating. It's not a show. Oh yeah, it is. This is new show I saw the trailer for on Amazon. Vox Machina or Machina.
I saw that. Yeah.
It gives me Invincible-esque animation and vibes. A lot of cussing, a lot of killing. Seems pretty fun. I'm waiting on Raising Dion season 2 on Netflix.
Real?
Yeah. As crazy as it sounds, I'm waiting on Umbrella Academy season 3. I'm trying to get back into season 2. Season 2 kind of was like,
yeah. That's why I need to get back into season 2. I stopped at the point when old dude, I guess the father was being his ass.
Yeah.
The young father. That's the point I stopped at. The dude was like, I guess like Batman. Yeah, but I'm trying to get back into that too. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I mean, Umbrella Academy got a lot of heart, but I was expecting more like ass beating and stuff.
Right. Agreed. I'm waiting on Kid Cosmic. That shit coming in February.
No, Moon Knight looked good as hell.
Moon Knight, I'm not hip.
You didn't see the trailer for it?
I'm not hip. For what?
Coming to Disney Plus.
From Marvel.
From Marvel. It actually looks like
yeah. I didn't see the commercial, but I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. That looks great. That looks pretty good. So but yeah. I don't know how many shows we gotta wait. See. But last thing on the list, I want to talk about Microsoft buying Activision. So big news in gaming, like extreme. Microsoft buys Activision, aka Xbox buys Activision, which is a gaming publisher, for $68.7 billion. So to give you some like comparisons or things to look at, like this is the biggest acquisition in gaming history. Before that, it was Microsoft versus Microsoft. The other acquisition before it was Microsoft buying Bethesda, aka ZeniMax, for only $7 billion. That was the biggest in gaming. That was like back in probably like 2019. Now this is the biggest at $68.7 billion. That is a motherfucking jump. To also put in perspective too, the amount for Disney bought Fox, 20th Century Fox, and their movies was $71 billion. So yeah, it's a whole lot of money, honestly.
All of the money.
And with questions now, in case you don't know, Activision's big money maker is Call of Duty, and that's basically all they do right now with the developers underneath. Was at a point in time they was releasing games like Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, what else? The Spider-Man games before the Insomniac Spider-Man games. They was doing all of them. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Then also too, they also now own the rights to Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot. I know people associate that with PlayStation, but they never did own those IPs, the developers and Sony. Universal Venditti owned them, and that acquired by Activision. Activision on them. So what's funny now though is like now you see Crash Bandicoot Inspire will now be exclusive on Xbox, and then also the moneymaker Call of Duty is that going exclusive to Xbox, because let's be real, like Activision, PlayStation was Activision's number one like moneymaker too, because like most of the games always sold on PlayStation, you know, all the Call of Duty games and things of that nature, and they have contractual agreements with them with the Call of Duty League. When you get the Call of Duty League, the game esports is only done on PlayStations too, you know, and they have other agreements too, probably with like DLC or marketing, things of that nature. But Microsoft came out and said, you know, we obligated. We will agree, you know, we will make sure, you know, those agreements are, you know, still being handled correctly and things of that nature, and it's not our intent to break up communities, and games, Call of Duty will remain multi-platform and stuff like that. So they say, but it could be just multi-platform until the actual business deal closes. For
real, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because like it's in place, but the bill doesn't actually close. It said it'd be about a year. On top of that, in case you know, Activision, the publisher, they was going through a lot of bullshit. So, praising the workforces. The work environment there was apparently very toxic and stuff. Damn. A lot of misogynistic things going on, and racial things, and people, sexual assault and things of that nature happening going around there too. So
Activision?
Yeah, and that's what they've been under the media about.
Call
that.
of Duty for real? Like what?
Yeah, like this big ass developer. You know, so there's a lot of things going around about that too. You know,
that's fucked up.
Sexual predatory things and a lot of other things, and they've been like under the limelight because of that lately. So maybe they said Activision was looking for somebody to buy them because of that. Even though they was making money, a lot of money themselves off of Call of Duty. You know,
behind the scenes, it's just going down.
And then people wanted the CEO, his name's Bobby Kotick, to step down or whatever. But he will still be there, I guess, for the next year. But then he's still getting a big payday too.
Of course he is. That's his shit.
Because, like, with all these accusations and stuff like that, nobody got fired, and people's talking bad about Activision, talking about, you know, we should protest them not buy their games and things of that nature. I mean, it's not going to happen
at all.
Call of Duty still selling. Number one game sold in December. So, but like people also now looking at Sony, PlayStation. You know, what should they do? Should they acquire a publisher like Capcom? That's in there, like, because let's be real, like Microsoft, like I guess they like 222 trillion. That's like how much money they have, and also they could waste 70 billion.
Right.
You know, and then Sony on the other hand, at one time, you know, they were big electronics and stuff like that, but I think they just spread themselves too thin or couldn't keep up with the times. But they may make us the PlayStations, and you know, there's also Sony Films, movies, and Spider-Man. You know, just made a lot of money for them in Sony Music. But I think they only worth like 75 billion, something like that, or 100-something billion. You know, so like would they have the money to buy another publisher like that, things of that nature? People talking maybe should respond with buying like Capcom or things of that nature, or like a Square Enix. But
that would be a smart move right there to acquire Capcom off top, because the many, just off they versus games, how many games you got spin-offs off that from the original?
Well, they did work so well with Capcom too, because it was the last generation, like marketing rights for Resident Evil, and then Street Fighter V was only released on PS4.
Right.
And then it came to PC later.
But to be fair, is that the type of battle they want to have? Because like you said, Sony's bread and butter is PlayStation.
Yeah, their culture.
And all that other stuff you said. But Microsoft ain't just Xbox.
Right.
That's the tip of the iceberg.
Because, like, honestly, they never, with Xbox, Microsoft never made a profit.
Oh, man.
They just, like, got money to blow and just, like, you know, want to get in game space.
That ain't crazy. Even they bread and butter. They just did that to do that shit.
Well, you know
like,
why they did?
And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, Sony just stay in the lane that you in to keep. It shouldn't be a war, because that ain't... I get it if you want to just, all right, let's see what we can do against Xbox, but Microsoft, no.
think they make like then most of the profits is from like Sony makes is from like subscriptions like PS Plus and things of that nature on the PlayStation.
Because you don't hear, I mean, you right, they were spread it thin. It was a point where they had their hands in cell phones. They had their shit in electronics, just period. Cell phones, TVs, camcorders, laptops, all that shit. Then let me see.
Now it's just TVs.
Now it's just TVs, and let me see you find a motherfucking Sony laptop. That's like finding a motherfucking
and that's crazy
Dreamcast.
though, because they created the Walkman. That was them who made up Walkman.
Right.
Like we call everything Walkmans, but they wasn't really Walkman. The only Walkman was the Sony, and they called that shit, and we called everything Walkmans. Like,
crazy.
Like how Vaseline is the brand name, but we call everything Vaseline.
Yeah.
So,
right.
That shit, And that was the Walkman. That's crazy. And they, like they said, like the only electronics they do, if you're not counting PlayStation, are TVs, and their TVs are pretty good though.
It ain't Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft had, they bread and butter. Windows. Every computer, every company, corporation.
Well, I ain't gonna lie now.
Has Windows.
I'm not gonna lie now. Google's about to take that shit over.
You think so?
Yes.
On actual PCs though. They got it on the phones.
Chromebooks.
Oh yeah.
Like, you don't need Windows for shit no more. You get a Chromebook. You got Google Docs. You got Google Slides. The same shit that Windows got. You just ain't got to pay $250 for it. It's already into the computer.
But the thing is, like, for us, but like these companies out here, like every computer they buy, Windows is on it.
Oh, absolutely.
So that really got to change the culture though.
I think Google's doing that shit.
Because I don't know if because they got Microsoft, they got the little Surface and they tablets and stuff too. I don't know how well they sell it. And they got off the phone game because who buys a Windows phone?
That was so funny when it came out too. Windows phone, like
they tried it.
They tried it.
And they tried it with the Zoom too, but I feel like the Zoom was probably superior to the iPod. People was talking but it was the iPod.
Right. That's gonna sell off alone. Yeah. Damn, I remember having an iPod watching videos and shit on that shit.
But let me tell you why Microsoft got into the gaming space anyway, the consoles. This is documentary. This is on YouTube. It's very good too. It's like 5 parts. And they were saying like they thought the biggest threat at the time to like the PCs was PlayStation. So that's why they joined in the console race and made the Xbox. They thought that they feel like they need to get it. It felt like the biggest threat at the time. Yeah.
That's fair though. That's fair though, because the PlayStation was running shit for a hot second. Because it was like a cull in the age. You had a Nintendo when you were a child, but when you were transitioning from child to preteen to teenager, you felt that big boy game was, at first for our generation, a Sega going into a PlayStation.
Sega, yeah.
But for the new generation, some type of PlayStation.
Bro, everybody had PS2s.
Right.
For the DVD player, like everybody had PS2s, and and the only reason why they joined the console space was because them and Nintendo was supposed to come out and have a console. I think they had a handshake or a contract agreement.
Damn.
And they're supposed to come out with a console and things of that nature, with a CD in it and things of that nature. But Nintendo ended up coming out with theirs. Sony mad as fuck.
Right.
And they ended up coming with a PlayStation and look like that generation, Nintendo 64 was that shit. But compares to sales of what the PlayStation was doing in games that was on there, because they still went with cartridges instead with CDs because it could hold more memory.
But to be fair, the GameCube was cool.
But I'm saying, GameCube was number 3 though in sales.
I'm just saying it was cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
Oh yeah. But people say that's probably their best system, even though
Nintendo's best system.
Probably up there. I think it's the Super Nintendo.
Best system?
Yeah.
I'm going with the Switch.
You going with the Switch?
Off convenience alone.
Convenience.
You can pop that shit up to the TV. You can pop that shit up on the road. You can even pop that shit on the TV and create your own little mini controller and shit. It's very convenient.
But the thing is with the Switch though, what I know is it's too many holes with games though. But that's the thing too. On the Super Nintendo though, they was doing a monopoly, paying these companies extra money for this shit not to be on Sega. They was demanding you can't put your shit on Sega or we're gonna do this and shit.
Damn, for real.
They was big boy niggas like that. People don't talk about it that much now, but they was really trying to.
So that's why I guess everybody just leave Nintendo alone, huh? You don't hear
But at that
this-
time, like,
Because they will send Mario and Luigi to come pay you a visit.
but Nintendo, I mean, with the Switch though, Nintendo is like coming back though, like for real.
Yeah, they hit a
always
little. They
do.
fell
They
off for a
always
hot
do.
second after the GameCube.
Just enough to get their notice and keep it
The
pushing.
Wii was cool.
The Wii sold a lot, but the software didn't sold. So like a lot of people just like these older people will buy Wii's, but it just ended up being a doorstop.
Right.
They didn't
And
have
this how
enough-
game companies make their sales off the software sales, you know.
They ain't have enough games, man.
And then you know this is always because they like we don't care about power. They always have the weaker systems, but at some point though, you want to care. You don't have to be the best visual games, but you want like the Call of Duties and Battlefields and all these other games to run on the system, you know.
Right.
But I mean, they doing that with the Switch though. But the thing about that though, they's like streaming, like so you take something from the cloud or whatever and game on that. But like cloud gaming is like ass. And we're not at that point yet for like cloud gaming.
No.
But anyway, like been off on a tangent with this Microsoft deal. I think Sony just need to keep doing what they're doing. Like they know where their bread and butter out. If anything, they change different. Maybe they output of games, like expand their teams on the developers a little more, so you put out games faster. But you know, and then like with this year, Sony's the only like company for real with like direct release dates with Horizon and new God of War coming out. You know, so and Gran Turismo 7. So you know, Sony just keep doing what they're doing. That's what I think. Like they said, they're going to keep doing partnerships at the Bethesda that makes sense to them. Because it does seem like, Microsoft, you buying a big publisher and stuff like that. But these were games you're already getting. And the thing about underneath them is like, and it's not showing no buys anything, but it's like your creativity. What games are you creating?
Yeah.
Things of that nature. Because like, okay, you can say Halo, but like Halo wasn't them. That was Bungie. And Bungie not with them anymore. Now they got a new studio underneath them to make Halo games, 343, but but Bungie doing Destiny, so it's just like your internal studios, like people been saying like they don't know how to manage their studios for real, because the games they do come out with, they be
mid.
All right, okay,
like
so it'll be straight,
like
unless it's like Forza, their racing game,
like Gears of War.
Mm-hmm. And that's still like, the last Gears of War was pretty good and cool, but it's not looking at like God of War or Uncharted 4 or Horizon and stuff, like people just talking about it,
That could have been the next Halo.
Or even Ghost of Tsushima too. And that's what it seems people like, it seems like Sony gives like their developers a little bit more creativity. And then that's what they say they're missing like from Microsoft creativity. I don't want to say creativity, So
Oh wait.
We'll see. We'll see how things pans out.
Yeah.
But Joe, moral of the story?
Moral of the story. Stay easy, my friends.
Chuck, moral of the story?
Honestly, I don't know which way to go because the topics we had was on point. And all I can say at the end of the day, man, stay healthy mentally and physically.
Moral of the story, man. Let's just have a great year. That's all I want to say. 2022, let's get it. Let's have a great year, man. Black responsibly.